All right, we are back at Tribal Council again. Oh my god, I'm wobbling. That's not a great sign. The players are waiting to file in.
All right, come on in, guys.
There's a little nice view of our Tribal Council area. We've got Kyle F., Daniel, Nina, Sarah, Kelsey, Kyle M., Bobby, Jordan, Sarah, Declan, and Bennett.
And now we'll bring in the jury.
Jury coming on in.
We've got Alyssa and Michael voted out at the last tribal council. All right, I've been dying to ask Bennett. What happened?
Very discreet, right? A little suspicious. You want me to just recap the story?
I mean, what did you tell them? I mean, we all saw it. Everyone seemed pretty confusing.
I found a clue at the challenge that said that if you were the first one in the first seat at Tribal, when you got to the voting booth, there would be an opportunity for you to get an idol, and basically it said that it was going to involve some level of risk. So I walked up to the booth. The ship's wheel ornament was on the floor, so when I was going in, I thought maybe it was just that, and I was just going to disguise that. I walk up, and behind the pads of paper, you see a bowl that's filled with bright red paint, and there's a rock in it, and the sign in front of it just says hands only. So I reached in and just tried to grab the rock with my fingertips, and the person behind the booths said, "It's under the rock." And at that point, my fingertips already had red paint on it, and I figured, like, we're here to play, so stuck my whole hand in, and when the burlap came up, it dripped all over me and all over everything, and so there wasn't really a way to cover it up. But
Was there ever a chance that you weren't sticking your hand in there?
probably not. I mean, we all came here to play, like, right? Like, we raised money, we worked to be here. Like, I feel like if you have the opportunity in front of you that involves some level of safety and security in the game and gives you some sort of leverage, you have to take it.
Yeah, Sarah, I mean, after you heard the story, you saw him come back, I mean, you had a pretty big reaction at Tribal, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. And I guess, what do you feel about Bennett doing something like that? I mean, it's a pretty bold, brash move. Is that something you want to use against him, or you understand, you agree with him, we're all here to play?
I think that if he hadn't have gotten the clue and there was just a thing of red paint there, I would have been hesitant to do it. But he knew that something was in there. And he's right. We're here to play. We're playing for charities. And at that point, like you said, you stuck your hand in, you got paint on you. It's just like, I wasn't concerned about Bennett doing something. I was concerned about what the hell's going on at that booth that production had created, that possibly some twist that could affect the vote, or are we doing something? Did he activate something? Was he forced to do it? Like, I didn't know. Once I heard the story, it was like, oh, okay. That's why I had the reaction, because it was the unknown of what was going on, whether it was going to affect all of us, whether we were all going to have a decision when we went up there. Then once he told the story, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah, I was going to ask, I mean, do you believe the story? I mean, that's what he's saying. But yeah, Daniel, go ahead, add on to it.
I actually felt relief because, I mean, I think we all suspect that there's a merge idol. It's what happens usually in Survivor. And the fact that I know where it is gives me far less anxiety than questioning people that I'm either aligned with or, not aligned with. So I'm actually calmer with the fact that I know where the idol's sitting.
And they all promised me they'll never vote me out.
All right. Well, we can save one seat for Bennett in the finale, and we'll see what makes it. The other thing about Last Tribal that I wanted to get to that I didn't touch on at the time, but Bobby, I asked Declan a specific question, and they were able to only say one name when I asked, who might be a threat in this game, and that's you. Notably, this is also the first Tribal Council after the merge that you do not have immunity. So how did you react to that, and kind of how do you manage being seen as a threat by at least one person?
Mass paranoia, anxiety. I talked to Declan
Whoever he is.
Oh, here you go. I didn't see the hat. I talked to Declan afterwards, just to kind of get the full story because I wasn't happy hearing that, obviously, in tribal council. He apologized, but his reasoning was, I was just talking about the fact that that was the perfect challenge for me, which again it was, and this one clearly was not. And, you know, obviously I did well on the first individual part, where the nickname King Bobby was going around, unfortunately. And that is just a name that he felt like I know the threat level that I have when it comes to challenge threat. I hope everybody realizes there are more than challenges in this game to be able to win. Anybody can be immune at any time, such as me right now. So social threats, puzzle threats, intellectual threats, network threats, these are all different types of threats that all win different types of LRGs in Survivor, and you got to be able to see all of them. You can't just see the most obvious one, which is the guy that can run and throw a beanbag.
All right. Kelsey, so I want to talk about the challenge. So this type of challenge, you know, kind of can reveal a lot potentially about the pecking order in terms of, you know, people nominating people to potentially being eliminated in the challenge, the way that it was set up. So there weren't a lot of choices just based on the numbers, but there were two choices where, you know, in the second heat, you were picked to be in that second heat, and then to go a second time, you were the first of the group to be picked to go a second time. Did you feel like you were being unnecessarily targeted, or that was just random?
I don't think it was random. Clearly the people that are working together probably don't want to give anything away, so it's just easy to pick somebody who's clearly on the bottom. So I didn't look too far into that. Obviously it stunk because my arm was really tired by the end of it all, but it was something to be expected, and I definitely don't have any hard feelings for the people that picked me.
Yeah. So Jordan, you know, it's been 2 blues voted out. I believe there are 4 of you remaining here. Do you feel like Kelsey just implied that you're on the bottom as well? And you know, 11 is a time to potentially make a move. It's one of those odd numbers in Survivor. Do you feel like you were able to make something happen here?
Yeah, we've seen the pecking order for quite some time. I mean, 2 awesome blue players are right over there, which stinks because they really clawed their way as far as they possibly could. And I think Kelsey and I and Sarah, Blue Sarah as well, have done the same. But unfortunately, when we all get in a group out here, everyone pairs up in duos and trios, and I just stand in the middle waiting for someone to leverage my vote. I have a vote, and I'm ready to work with people. At Kelsey too, whether that's together, individual.
It was just, it was awkward. It was like
Sarah's
everybody
well.
paired up, and there's like me and Jordan.
Yeah.
So we, like at this point, we just hugged each other and was like, you know, we probably are gonna have to vote for each other, but like, love you.
Yeah.
That's tardy.
Right.
Hungry.
So, bottom line is, it would make sense for a blue to go next, but the point of this game, to really kill that final resume of yours, is you want to have big moves, and it just being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not how it's going to be done. Yeah.
I noticed Jordan just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but didn't count 6. Declan, can you fill us in maybe on why he might have done that?
What was he pointing at?
I pointed out,
Yeah.
those 2, myself, and then the other 2 blues. Not in any particular order. Not in any particular order, but just the blue was the target going into this.
Again, I mean, he is leaving someone out. I guess
Oh,
is that intentional or
my God.
was that an
Yeah.
accident?
I think it's pretty intentional.
I felt like a blue for a
Sorry,
long time.
Dan.
I think he's past pretty. I think I think that makes sense with the dynamics that's ever since the first merge tribal. Dan was pretty upset about how things had gone pre-merge, and I think that sort of paved the way for 2 blues to go as the first 2 jury members.
Okay. So Nina, you have all of the power here. You know, you're immune. There's no chance that you can go. Did you feel like you pressed a little bit harder this time to make sure things went the way you wanted, or you kind of sat back and let the action come to you?
I didn't sit back. I pressed a little bit more than I would have.
of. But the thing is, you can't do too much because, I mean, there's rounds right after. So you can't just like go all out and then all of a sudden the next round you don't have immunity and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a balancing act. I get it.
It's getting late today.
It is. It is, Bobby.
Unless I ask a follow-up, you can assume I understood. Kyle, have you noticed, you know, there are certain people that are putting the first name out there that gets voted?
No, not really. I feel like the last two tribal councils, especially, like when we were strategizing with everybody, it was chaos, and like there were names going around everywhere, and like I don't know, I don't think a lot of people knew where they came from. So and then like all of a sudden we're getting called in, and I'm not sure if people even had made their minds up yet or knew what the plan was. So I think it's just, you know, we go back to camp, we sit around, right? We sit and we hang out, and then we go to a challenge, and all of a sudden we have, I don't know how long we have to just strategize. So I think things can get messy that way.
Yeah. So Sarah, I guess that can be a double-edged sword of, okay, if the name's not coming from any specific place, then there's no big leader, there's no big target, but at the same point, eventually you're going to need to make, you know, the case to these folks that, hey, I decided that vote, hey, I did this, but if it's not clear even to the group here, how do you end up doing that at the end of the game?
I think it's all about I mean, I always think that Survivor, the game, is about perception. So at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily matter who's doing it, it's what everybody perceives is doing what. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Okay. Kyle. So when we talk about, you know, the blues being eliminated potentially one after the other, well, the other two kind of original colors that are left are red and gray. And I'll count the numbers up for you again. There are 4 red and there are 3 gray. Does that worry you about kind of, you know, potentially working together long term?
Absolutely. I think that not to think about. I think also though you have to think about all the cross relationships. Like we've been on tribes with multiple people, not just our starting colors. We're actually on tribes with longer with the people who are on opposite tribes than our original tribes. We just had that one day where we fought for individual immunity. So those relationships are so polluted right now that it's hard to tell who's with who. And so while it does worry me, I think there's wiggle room within that. And it's just a matter of time before this game dissolves into everybody for themselves. Hopefully that will break down. It's not just a rebellion.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless anyone has anything else to say, I think we're ready for the vote. All right. Penny, we'll start with you.
All right. And off we go to have a little chat. This is your time, viewers, to ask me any questions that you want answered, and I will do my best to answer them. I don't know if y'all noticed some people like cracking up at the end. I got caught in a precarious position trying to like get a really good angle for the live stream, and then I got stuck, and so I started laughing, and so then Bennett and Sarah started laughing, and it was a mess. But that's why there was just sudden laughter for something that didn't appear at all funny as far as the answers go. Okay, so yes, there are 11 people left. And I also did the smart thing and got myself a chair this time. So we're just gonna hang out while I'm comfortable. We're gonna just have a little fireside chat, except not by a fire. So this is the final 11, and I would, this is the perfect time to talk about advantages and idols and all of that good stuff. So we are at final 11. And next round, Christy, yes, is the legacy advantage activation. Daniel has it currently, and it talks about something happening at the final 10, and that person getting an advantage at the final 10 or making a decision at the final 10. And they are actually going to be finding out about it and like having it take place right after this tribal council. So you're gonna wanna stick around through the vote out and the exit interview. I will be staying live and we'll be coming right back to see the final 10 and to see the twist that's happening then. So strap in, because we're gonna be hanging out for a while. So that is one advantage in this game. It was bequeathed to Daniel by Ryan. It was voted out pre-merge, and yeah, and unless Daniel is voted out here, it looks like Daniel will be the decision maker on that. Interestingly, he was not identified by Jordan as a blue, so pretty much it appears that blue is on the bottom. As Kelsey and Jordan attested to, they were stuck in the middle of the field together, thinking it's either one of them. That is one possibility. Jordan obviously having a big ally in Michael, who literally just left last round, and not really having many other people to rely on. He's tried to make a lot of things work. They have not worked. Michael, I believe, voted out with an extra vote in his pocket as well. So that was an advantage that is no longer in play. So Jordan is potentially kind of the easy vote at Final 11, but as Cam said, you don't always want to do an easy vote at Final 11. So there is also another potential plan in place, and I'm sorry, but I'm literally trying to remember what it is. Anyway, while I think of it, I will let you guys know that Bennett and Bobby are being viewed by a lot of players as people that are on top and are running the game. So they are absolutely on everyone's threat radar. You heard Bobby literally talk about King Bobby as a nickname, which is very complimentary in pretty much any setting except a game like Survivor, where you really, you want that to be your name if you're sitting at a final tribal council, but you sure don't want that to be your name, in very early jury phase, because that makes you very vulnerable. Other advantages, as we heard, Bennett just told the entire tribe that he had an idol. That was not a lie. But speaking of lies, now I remember what the alternative plan was. So Jordan is potentially the easy vote. Nina went to Bennett and someone else, I don't remember who, but basically went to Bennett and lied straight to Bennett's face, saying that Declan was targeting Bennett. And so Bennett believed her, and now the word has been spreading throughout the strategy sessions that Declan is targeting Bennett. And as a result, Declan is now potentially on the chopping block, completely not of his own accord, or not of their own accord, but because Nina just came up with that lie. Nina and Bobby have been a pretty tight duo this entire game, and so I think Nina recognizes it's important for her to be able to differentiate her game from Bobby and make moves. She did come in saying that she would be a villain. So we will see if, Bennett's paranoia about Declan coming for him is enough to have convinced enough players to vote for Declan. So right now, potentially Declan versus Jordan, but of course in these games, anything can happen and we just don't know. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's any more advantages. We still have an idol that's hidden, and Bennett is the only one with the map to it, and he so far has not been able to find where it is. He has been looking at the map, but he's been searching in the wrong areas. It is actually hidden 15 paces back into the forest, and so far I think he's just been rooting around the edge of the forest, not realizing he's going to have to go 15 paces into the forest, and there is not a nice little path that makes you feel like you're on the right track. This is an idol that involves daring, according to the sheet of paper, so it is not an easy idol to get. Although Bennett is sitting there with another idol that also involved daring in the form of being very risky. I find it interesting that he just went ahead and admitted the truth. I was sitting there thinking at Tribal Council, I was like, God, what would I have done or attempted to even do? And I almost wish he had tossed the pen to vote everyone with into the forest and been like, they're having us they're having us paint the names in blood this round. Like, I don't know, crazy. But I don't know. But yeah, he was, as Christy said last round, he was literally caught red-handed. I know so many of you in the chat noticed that. There was a few others that actually played with the paint too. Nina put some war paint stripes on. I don't know if that's kind of her turning point and she's now like turning it on. Does Nina have an idol? I do not believe so. I think the Bennett idol is potentially the only advantage in that currently anyone physically has outside of the legacy advantage, which again we will see play out after this tribal. I'm just gonna take a little status check, gonna peek around here and see where we're at in the voting process. Of course, I do not want to miss anything. All right, so Cam is still there, so the voting is not over yet. Let me just see who is voting and then we will settle back into our little, oh no, I can't do the thing with the camera. There we go. I can't do the thing with the camera. Let's see. Just waiting to glimpse who is coming back to vote so I have an idea of how much longer we have to chat. Keep the questions coming, y'all. They are fabulous and it is fun to get to talk about all this kind of stuff. Let's see. I don't know if you've seen, so the Merge camp is actually the new Sabatis camp. So if you check out the live stream that we did at the very beginning of the day, you got camp tours to Wiscasset and Sabatis, and Merge is now in Sabatis. So there's a nice, like, it's a nice clearing in this direction. All right, looks like Nina is heading to vote. I believe she was one of the last ones, but there's still a few more people. So we'll just come on back over here. Let's see, I'm trying to think of other stuff to tell y'all. Let's see. How many times do I have to comment Team Declan to get them an immunity idol? Unfortunately, that is not one of the ways any players can receive one, but we love to see the love. All the players will get to see all of these comments as they watch back these videos after the game. Kyle F running a decent mid-level game. Speaking of mid-levels, our very own winner from 2021, Albie, is currently volunteering out here with us this week. He is one of the tribe handlers, so he is privy to a lot of information, and earlier today I sat down with him for his analysis on where exactly the players were stacking up. He agreed that Bobby and Bennett were viewed as top players, but were a little too high up to be able to have legs. They thought Nino is another top player. Sorry, I feel like the drum music just kind of stopped, but I think that's just the natural stopping of it in the sequence of it. There were a lot of mid-level players as well. And then, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let me go check again and see, because now I'm paranoid about the drums. Okay, I am getting the all clear wave from Cam, so we are going to make our way back into camp. Oh, Ryan is excited to start watching and see how these amazing players finish off. We are so excited to have you join us. We still have a very full rest of this day and night, and also a full half day tomorrow. So plenty of action left to enjoy. Tell your friends, and then y'all can talk about it all together. We're having a lot of fun out here in Jackson, Maine. All right, and Daniel coming back, the last to vote. Cam heading back to collect the votes.
Hi, Mom.
All right, and here we have the players awaiting the result of the latest vote. Alyssa and Michael, the jury, sitting off to the side. They've been taking in everything that's been said at this tribal council. The only fun in Jackson, Maine, honestly, probably. Although there is a brewery right down the road called like the Tattooed Brewery or something. Have not checked it out, but maybe it's really great. In comes Cam with the votes.
All right. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I'll get to the votes. First vote, Jordan. Next vote, Declan. 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 The 14th person voted out of Can You Survive 2022, and the third member of our jury.
Good job, guys.
That's awesome. Bring me a torch. The middle one. It's gonna come out easier. Declan? Good job, this
Good game, y'all.
All right, and we are following Declan on out.
Alright, we're gonna have you all go like
All right, Declan, you are still on the live stream. We are walking out and we are gonna get your final thoughts before you head on to Ponderosa. I am barefoot, so I'm going slower than normal on this path. We're gonna hang a left. Any initial thoughts you wanna share as we head over?
They're so right.
Oh yeah?
I had so much fun, and I was probably just like massaging everybody too much that last one, in that last round.
Mm-hmm.
And when Bobby said network threats, I kind of knew it right then and there. I totally wish I could have gone deeper.
You
but
can
that
drop
was,
your stuff, so just so you're a little more comfortable as we chat.
I totally wish I could have gone deeper, but yeah, I think everyone had me clocked. So what else is there to say?
Awesome.
Great
Well,
game.
well, you were out here for 4 days. Can you speak a little bit to your experience out here?
I had so much fun. I've never done a game before. I think I probably got too comfy in the merge. And everyone totally had me, and that was awesome. Yeah.
Great. And can you share with us a favorite moment out here?
Couple.
All right. Let's hear them.
There was cracking the coconut at first red tribe. Doing the dandelion stuff was really fun. Getting to I don't know meet all these people, make friends, and I knew I had to win that challenge too. I knew it, and I didn't. That's all right. It's all right. You said favorite moments. Those are high ones. Not getting one out first. Realizing pretty early I had the fundraising immunity. Getting close with the points immunity, and then knowing I had to lose it. And staring at just like lying on the grass, staring at the stars at night, and like thinking, plotting, and that's probably what got me voted out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And before we let you go to Ponderosa as a third member of our jury, you were playing for a really great cause. This is your chance to shout them out and tell the viewers all about them.
I played for Mayday Space, which is a community center where I live in Brooklyn. They do such amazing work. I'm so grateful I got to come out here and do this, and so grateful to all my friends who raised so much money for me to do this. Check them out if you live in New York, you live in Brooklyn.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Declan. Congratulations on your spot in the jury.
Thank you.
We will be seeing Declan at every tribal council, including the last one, where they will be a part of deciding who will win Can You Survive 2022.
For sure.
All right. And here are these. We are going to head back. We are staying live, so do not go away. We are heading right back to the Tribal Council area. Yeah, so as I said before, we are going to go ahead and reveal the legacy advantage that activates at the final 10, because now the players are down to the final 10. All right, I am walking back this way. I am still alive.
Hello.
Hello. Your face is not here. Do you
Oh,
want it to
okay.
be here?
Sure.
Here we go.
We'll talk
Hi.
about it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Do they know what's about to happen?
They know that at the F10, the legacy advantage activates, and they know that the players are about to find out how it's all going to go down.
Alrighty, so yes, we have the legacy advantage. If you don't know, Daniel has it.
They know.
Okay, they know. Well, there you go.
They're in the loop.
Alrighty, so Daniel has the legacy advantage. He will get to choose the two teams for Final 10, and both
Two teams.
They're going to be split into two teams at Final 10 right
Wow.
now. Daniel gets to choose those teams, so he has a ton of power this round. And the question is, does he have a good enough read on the game to put people on his team where he won't be voted out?
Ooh, a lot of power. Let's see if he can wield it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh, I didn't click the thing. Oh my god. It's fine. The buttons are just the tiniest things in the world on the screen. All right, Ryan, I can't wait either.
Oh.
Someone told me. All right, walking up to our lovely final 10 players.
Just 1 second, we're gonna get a camera for you, I think.
We have Bennett, Kyle F, Sarah, Bobby, Nina, Sarah, Jordan, Kelsey, Kyle M, and Daniel.
Alrighty, so congratulations on Final 10.
Oh my god.
Stand over here.
Why don't you sit on the ground? It'll be great. No, just kidding.
No, you're good. I'm going to stand right here.
Wait, Justin, can you shift a little just so I can get everyone in frame? Thank you.
All right, so congratulations on making it to the final 10. Yeah, go ahead. Alrighty, so how this is going to work is at the beginning of this game, an advantage was placed in the center of the endurance challenge, the legacy advantage. Juliana got it. Obviously, she was voted out, but it is the legacy advantage, so if the person was voted out with the legacy advantage, they gave it to someone in the game. So someone has the legacy advantage. Would that person please join me up here?
Wow.
Alrighty, Daniel. Now you don't know what the legacy advantage is. What it is this round you are going to split into two teams of 5. The two teams will compete for individual immunity. Both teams will go to tribal council, and 2 people will be voted out. And you get to decide the teams.
Okay. Now?
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay. Team 1.
Mhm.
Bennett. Bobby, Nina. Sarah. And then the rest.
Alrighty, so Bennett, Bobby, Nina, Sarah, and Sarah stand over here. Kyle, Jordan, Kelsey, Kyle, and Dan stand over there. Alrighty, these are the 2 teams for this round of the game. By the end of this round, 2 of you will join the jury. We will be keeping you separated, so we'll have you go back to Sabatis. We'll have you stay here in the challenge field where you will compete in the challenge.
They gotta go to camp.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, you're gonna go to Wiscasset.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll finally go to a new camp.
All right, so merge is now unmerged. There are 2 groups of 5 that will be competing against each other and attending separate tribal councils. Kyle M, Kelsey, Kyle F, Jordan, and Daniel heading off in one direction. And we have Sarah, Bobby, Bennett, and Nina heading off in the other direction. And of course, they had to keep the Kyles together and the Sarahs together, so I'm gonna have to keep saying initials. All right, so there you have it. After an unmerge, we are going to be setting up a challenge that both teams will be separately competing in for individual immunity. So we're going to go ahead and get that going, and then we will be back at a time that I'm going to find out for y'all. So just pause. Brandon, timeline-wise, what are we saying for the viewers? Do we have an idea yet or no?
15.
Oh, 15 minutes. Keep coming right back here. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes, a very short break before we jump right back into it. See you then.